Hey, good morning, Martin County. Welcome to another Sunday, the 7th of May already. One day after Naked Gardening Day. Whoo, and I got a sunburn in places we won't discuss. Welcome back to Talk About Martin. We're going to talk today about our observations from the last Indiantown Village Council meeting. And man, they're almost as entertaining, comical, and script writing drama as the Martin County Board of County Commissioners. I'll tell you what, lots going on everywhere. Folks, before we get started, be sure to go to talkaboutmartin.com. Sign up, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. You'll be our follow button. And every time there's something new, insider information that comes out that we get that we don't necessarily post on Facebook, you'll get notification as to those types of things. So go to talkaboutmartin.com. Be sure to click on the follow button. And while you're there, hit the contributors tab and look at the number of people that we have contributing. We're also going to be bringing on a new contributor coming up in the next week or two. BJ's weather page. Yeah, let's hear it for BJ. Way to go, guys. Listen, we're going to be putting together a Talk About Martin page so he can do some exclusive meteorological blogging and talking to just Martin County. We have our own meteorologist these days. So stand by. We're going to have another edition and another contributor. Now, let's get to the fact of the matters at hand. All right. Well, first of all, hey, Thunderbirds. Way to go, guys. Went to state. Loving it. Good job. And to all of those parents and volunteers that pitched in, took your time, and helped to get those boys mentored to the point that they needed to be, to get them to the caliber that they needed to be, to help them stay focused, to keep the team together. You all are awesome. And that's what we need to see more out of parents is looking to the parents, look to the community, look to the volunteers, look to ourselves, and not to government. Yeah, not to government. Look, Indiantown, where are your priorities? And I'm speaking not only to the elected officials, but to the people of Indiantown. You know, in Indiantown, the elections only turn out 800 to, at tops on a real big election year, 1,200 people maybe out of 8,000. I mean, come on, guys. First of all, the lack of interest there for voting is below par, below standard, below levels. You've got to get involved. But let's move on. The comments that we're hearing from the people, the residents, the citizens that are coming in to these meetings and speaking are outlandish. You'd think they were in California asking for $1.2 million in reparations. You know, you sit here and look at the people that come in and demand that their tax money go to putting parks and recreation programs together for the kids. Hire people, hire coaches, paint the fields, all of the government come and put all this together. Run it for our kids. We're going to turn them over to you, government. Take our kids. No, do it the way the Thunderbirds did it. You know what? The only government help they had, which was actually something that someone decided to do, it wasn't even really a request. It was an offer, and that was from the village. And the village said, "Hey, want to use a van? Well, let's use a van. Hey, give you a free tank of gas to go with it. You guys did great. We appreciate what you're doing." But that's different than saying, "Hey, let's go out and you need to buy us shoulder pads. We need to man a baseball field, a lacrosse field, a dodgeball field, a soccer field, a football field, a baseball field, a softball field for boys and girls on all four of those." Now that's 14 different programs right there. What about swimming? Are you going to want swimming too? Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? How about a horse riding? We've got an arena right over here. Why don't we put that together too? How about tetherball? How about if we put hopscotch and all these other things together? Why not? They're all fun, right? Why don't you all get up and get out and follow the lead like Angelina, your councilwoman? She's setting an example for you. Her and her husband running two separate leagues, I believe, soccer leagues, up and down the state. And you don't hear her complain once. She smiles every time she talks about all the hard work, money, and effort that she puts into it because she knows the benefit that's coming to her children. Now, does government have a place in this process? You bet they do. You own those parks, people. You own them. Those bathrooms should be kept clean for you to use, and you should respect them when you go in there nonetheless. The fields should be there in working, good, managed position for you to set up a league to go in and use your fields that your government maintains so that you have opportunity to do something. Not that the government gives you every opportunity you need. You make your own opportunities, you see. They exist or they don't. You got an opportunity to put together a football league? Put one together. The Thunderbirds did. They went to state. Now, what can happen if we work with the local government to make sure the fields are in working order, that the facility is there for people to be able to use so that they can develop their own youth program, right? Do you really want government workers, government mentality, government largesse, government interference, government edict, government mandate, government diversity being the ones that put together, run, instruct, teach, and lead your children? You want your children led and taught by government? Or do you want them led and taught by leaders within your own community? Rise up before you start telling the government to put things in your pocket. That's not what it's about. Of course, we may not have to worry about it much longer because, we've been talking about it at Talk About Martin for a very long time. The face of gentrification. And here it comes. Here it comes. You're hearing the discussion. Last week they brought in a friend. I'm just a friend. I build large gated communities and make millions and millions of dollars, which is great. I love it. People want to live in a gated community. Let them go live in a gated community. And if you want them here, bring them all in. I really don't care because it's not going to affect me one way or another. I'm not moving. I have what I have. Okay? So let's talk about these gated communities for a second and gentrification. Okay, I'm not going to go off the deep end on all of these in a quick second here, but I want to go down the list of what we're talking about. Look, you want what you want with the village, with your parks and recs programs, and I get it. But again, let's go back to priorities. Let's look at the priorities that we have in place. Gentrification, this is something that you should be working to avoid. A lawsuit, I mean, really, is this a priority? Seems to be. You could be involved in a lawsuit right now. You think you might want to be a little bit more interested in that. How about the fact that, what other priorities might you have? Did you watch real close during the meeting? And in that meeting, Taryn was in a complete agreement with some comments that your mayor made. And your mayor said some things that when you really go back and listen to them, and we'll play the clip, we'll put the clip in here for you from the meeting. And you listen to her, she's kind of saying what we've been saying all along, but I think she just confirmed what we already know. Your water plant doesn't have the capacity to allow you to even build these gated communities. So we're kind of getting the cart in front of the horse, so to speak. See, your horse isn't even moving. You guys have got a donkey. And that water treatment plant is your donkey. Okay? You are not able, I will bet you, just because of the design elements of the way that thing is built, it is not a closed loop system. It is a multi-pronged system, and it dead ends all over the place. That's why you see them opening hydrants all the time, so they can release the sediment that's blowing and collecting in large sludge buckets down at the end of the pipes. And over time, the chemicals do, and it gets nasty, and things grow, so they got to do. If this was circular, it'd be cleaner for one, and they'd be able to use less chemicals. Have any of you sent any of your water samples away to a third-party analysis company to say, I want a deep analysis on my water. Tell me what just came out of my tap? I bet you won't be happy. And I'll tell you what, the reason they have to use all of those chemicals, it's because the system is at capacity. Where does your money come from? 80% of your money plus comes from FPL. Okay? You need more money. You have a large light industrial base that's already slated to go. You have got to find a way to allocate enough resource to get your tax revenues started and generating someplace. And that, my good friends, seems to be the one. Start with your light industrial out west of town. Stop impacting the center of town. Send it out there. Fewer needs for water. Fewer needs for water than in a residential environment. And depending upon the type of light industrial, I get it, some of them are heavy on water, but we can be selective in that process, can't we? We grow jobs. We grow a local base. Don't tell me there are no workers when if I pay $20 an hour in Indiantown and someone's driving to St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, West Palm and getting paid $20 an hour, they're not going to want to work here. They can save $50 a week. Look, we do the priorities again, okay? But your water treatment, we've got other things to deal with, like the boarding houses that are going on, the illegal food kitchens, the child exploitation, the sexual trafficking, okay? Where are the priorities? And we're talking about putting in Gerber daisies and starting youth athletic leagues. Woohoo! Largesse! Money for the people! Woohoo! Drink the water! Don't drink the water. Priorities, guys. I'm with you with the kids. I belonged to a youth football league called JFL, Junior Football League in Peoria, Illinois. I played football all the way through high school as a young boy from 6, 7 years old all the way through high school because of adults like many of you that are awesome parents that are out there with your kids and other kids, raising them as good young Americans. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's hard work. Life is hard. Stop looking to government to give us everything. Please stop looking. And can we talk about the gated communities? There are some people here that I think should be aware of that because there is a large-scale gentrification that will take place. Follow the money. Follow the money. All right, guys. Look, Indiantown is a great place. Thunderbirds, I hope that you're a uniting factor for this entire town. You kids have demonstrated what hard work, raw talent, dedication, discipline, teamwork, effort, leadership, parents, and a community behind you can do. Again, Indiantown is an example. Let the rest of the world see us. Your government should be here to keep the bad guys away so that you can do what you want as a community. Yeah, things take money, but the good things don't. You can't buy happiness. You can't buy respect. You can't buy freedom. You can't buy love. You can't buy unity. You can't buy Indiantown. So let's get our priorities in place, scale things back a little bit, get the cart behind the horse, get the feed bag on the horse, and figure out, before we take off, exactly what direction we're going in, because this is a one-way trip, kids. And the choices we make along the way are going to choose the outcomes that we have going forward. So should we redirect our limited resources and priorities in one direction, it will neglect another. At least it will diminish the emphasis that can be given to the other. There really isn't enough to go around. All right, Indiantown, cogitate on it. All right, like, subscribe, email, yell, comment, ring the bell, do all the things that they say to do and all these wonderful things, but stay informed, guys. You got comments, I'll tell you what, you want to publish a letter to the editor on talkaboutmartin.com, bring it on, send us your thoughts, let's put it out there for everybody to see. Check us out on Facebook as well, Talk About Martin Group, and for all of you that are still with me, thank you for listening to the end. May God bless you, keep you, and thank you for another day, Lord. Enough said. No more out.